Here's my Bitcoin USD update. Um, I have been following this blue count here, this ABC. My secondary or alternative is this red count. Of course, day by day as price action continues, the red count's starting to become a primary, but it's not out of the weeds just yet. As far as the blue count goes. So that's why I got this blue box here. It is, if this is the one for the red, then the two should basically, at this 786 retracement here, should bounce out and get to new highs and look impulsive at the same time. So what I was waiting for was if this was A or just all of the correction ABC here, and this was the B or the 1, didn't matter. If I'm looking for the C or I'm looking for the 2, then of course I'm going to put in a retracement fib here and watch to see what happens. And so I was waiting for price action to either break up or break down out of the blue box area, and it started to break up. So I went ahead and entered a long position here in my paper trading account, and I just bought one. I think I just bought one. Yeah, just bought one. And so if I go into a smaller micro chart here, what I was watching was once price got into, let this catch up. Once price got into this blue box area, you see it just retraced. Here's this pink line here. This is 786, and then it gathered support. And it's it's not the greatest of price action, that's for sure. Bitcoin's basically not really going anywhere yet. But as you see, I shorted or I longed a couple of times here, and it just didn't pan out. And then so I waited, and then once it broke out right here, I went ahead and went long. So now that I've done that, I put in my fib here, and you can look at it two ways. You can look at this initial move here, okay, as the 1. If this thing turns into like it's looking, everything is overlapping. So it's looking like if it's going to become impulsive, it's going to be a diagonal, which would be the leading diagonal of that 1 of that 3. So that's kind of how I'm going ahead and hedging that if the red count does take off, I'm already in. And guess what? If it doesn't pan out and it starts to come and take me for a loss, let's say, well then the upside is I get my money back because of the C. Go back to large chart here, because the potential for that C is pretty great, especially once it starts to drop and my risk to reward is nice, and I'll get down to the C. But since we did break out, and that's the way I'm going to trade this, we broke out of the blue box that I had, well then guess what? I mean, I can't tell the market what to do. So that's just what I have in place. That was my blue box. I started to break out, and so now I'm going to treat it as if starting that red count. I'm not really sold on it yet because it still could become an ABC if I was to do a fib from this ABC here and count this as the B right here, and this would just be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll get a 5. And then the only confusing part at that point is that if that is to become also, I also could count this as a 3-wave, an ABC1, ABC2, and like an ABC B, C3, and this whole thing still could be a diagonal. So with all those in place, all those theories in place, and that if the possibility is for it to go long, that at least if I did a Fibonacci from that 3-wave move right there, then that's telling me the price action is at least going to get to here. So I'll really be watching for price action in this area and just move this stop up to about where I entered. And then if it turns into a three-wave move, then I'll probably just come and take that small profit if I even get one. And then that really um, will tell me that the blue sea is happening more than likely. The odds are now going to start to increase, and then I'll sit on my hands and wait for how that looks at that reaction. Is because that C should be impulsive, and so go back to a larger chart. Go larger. So now that I've protected myself from the upside, if that's possible, then it's going to go up, and I'll be able to ride that up, all right, through here. But if it goes up into this area here, and I just put my stop up for a small profit, or if it never pans out, it starts to drop right now and comes into this area, well, then I'll reshort, okay, and then that'll get me back my profits, and I'll have a target zone as well. So all right, that's what I'm looking at now. I'll put in more updates on how I control this trade here, and how it pans out, and if we continue up or down. So thanks for tuning in. Talk to you later.